Appalachian Liturgy Top 5 Debate. To our top 5. So Nate came up with a top 5 again. We are doing the top 5 shows of 2020 that we watched in 2020. Doesn't have to be produced or released in 2020, but that we watched in 2020. Nate, you get to go first.
Okay. Well, I had one that didn't quite make my top 5. It was a documentary series on Netflix about the Challenger called Final Flight. That was just outside of my top 5. That I think it's 3 or 4 episodes, but it was phenomenal. I remember the Challenger explosion back in the 80s, but I didn't know all these details. So that was just outside of my top 5. Number 5 for me was Designated Survivor. I had never watched. I think I'd watched a couple of episodes when it was on ABC, but I'm almost done with it. But I'm still going to count it for 2020. I really just thought that was a good show. Number 4 for me was a show called The Good Place that I had never watched, and I don't know how I missed that because it's really funny. I know
It is funny.
I'm not sure, that there are a lot of real spiritual implications in that one. I don't recommend.
It's not theologically accurate. What?
Well, I mean, I
thought our credit score was going to get us there.
It could. And if you have a lot of good deeds, just the way that Paul taught. But anyway, I really liked the show. I thought it was cute and well written. And when I watch TV, I just want to be entertained. Number 3 for me was a documentary series on ESPN called The Last Dance.
Oh yeah, it was great.
About the 1998 Bulls, really just confirming what everybody knows, whether they admit it or not. Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. People say LeBron James, but LeBron James quits when his team doesn't win. So anyway, it's Michael Jordan, and that confirmed it for me. And that's
my favorite part of that show was when they were talking about the competitiveness of Michael Jordan, and he is flipping nickels to see who can get them closest to the wall. That was my favorite.
He's betting money when he lost like the first time. He's like, I got to do it again.
So, I'm an idiot. I will say that I was a huge Bulls fan when I was a kid. I had all kinds of Bulls stuff. Loved the Bulls.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I knew who Michael Jordan was because at least, or maybe I didn't care as a kid, because if the Bulls were playing now and Michael Jordan was playing now, I think I would hate him because just that documentary, he gives off the Tom Brady vibe that I absolutely despise. And just because he knows he's the best. He knows he's the best. And so I wouldn't be a fan anymore. And that's my problem with The Last Dance.
Well, that's fine.
But when you compare him to the Pistons, he's less cocky, so it
That's true. That is true, yeah.
I mean, I didn't say he was my favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
He's the greatest of all time.
Right.
Anyway, that's how I feel about it. My number 2 favorite series from this past year was Cobra Kai. It just appeared on Netflix when they bought it from YouTube. And then season 3 came out January 1st, but we're still going to count it. Such a good show. Takes you right back to the 80s of the karate. See, the 80s was a decade, Bowling and Stacy, when they had all kinds of good movies.
Okay. I've watched the Karate Kid movies. You don't have to act like that I'm so young.
But Cobra Kai really captures the spirit of the movies. So good and so well done. And my number 1 favorite show that I watched last year, will come as no shock, is The Mandalorian. I thought season 2 blew it out of the water. I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan anyway, but it kind of pulled me back. Suddenly I was 5 again. So that's my top 5.
All right, who's next?
Let me go because Nate basically has more than half my list.
Okay, go Bowling.
So one he doesn't have at 5, I did finish watching Veep last year, which is a pretty hilarious show too if you haven't watched it. Yeah. I had at number 4, The Good Place. Finally started watching it last year and actually basically caught up, but then haven't watched any of whatever the latest season is because that's how I do with shows. I'm bad on it. The Last Dance, and at number 3.
Look at that.
Our number 1's going to be different here, but number 2, The Mandalorian, obviously. Number 1, had to bring it in with the most stereotypical 2020 show, Tiger King.
Oh, I thought about that.
Oh,
it is definitely not the highest quality of them, but it's the most 2020 of all the shows. So
I didn't finish Tiger King.
That's fair.
All right, I'll go.
Go ahead.
So I had 2 honorable mentions. The Rot Stuff was an honorable mention. It's a TV show based on the Apollo astronauts and their journey to become astronauts. So, and then my other honorable mention was All Rise, which is a legal drama right now. I think it's on CBS. But anyway, so those are my 2 honorable mentions. So at number 5, a comedy, Bob Hart's Abishola, which is hilarious. So the first one I watched, I was like, but it's pretty funny. So number 4, I'm a little girly in a couple of these. 4 was Virgin River, which I just found out tonight that my husband is watching them after I fall asleep so he can catch up with me. So we can watch it together. My number 3 was Picard.
Very good.
I haven't gotten to watch that.
It's great.
Yeah.
I don't have CBS All Access. So I just.
Okay, my number 2 was Cobra Kai.
Yes.
And my number 1 was Mandalorian.
Yep, Mandalorian's on every list. I can guarantee you that.
Shocking.
Right.
I mean, I like a good sci-fi, don't you, Brooke?
Yes, but Abby would say it's not sci-fi.
Okay. I was wondering if she's going to push back.
I was hoping she would. Okay. All right. On to my list. So my number 5 is something that probably Nate may have watched, or at least would like to watch, but I don't think anybody else would. And that is The Undertaker's documentary, The Last Ride.
It was on my honorable mentions.
Yes, and that was my number 5. It is really good. It's amazing. If you're a wrestling fan, you want to see that. So that was my number 5. My number 4 is The Tiger King. That started out 2020, really. It was in the winter, I think, of 2020. And that was before everything went crazy. The only crazy thing about the winter was Tiger King, I guess. My number 3 was Star Trek Discovery.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think I watched all the seasons in 2020 of Star Trek Discovery, and I love it. I forgot about Picard. I don't know why I forgot about Picard. I have Star Trek here. But Picard's definitely an honorable mention. Mandalorian's my number 2, and my number 1 is Cobra Kai. And yes, I actually, because I watched all 3 seasons in 2020, I just finished season 3. It's fresh on my mind. That's the reason why it got the bump over Mandalorian. And I love Cobra Kai. It's so good. So yeah, that is my list. All right. Let's do it.
Might be an easy top 5.
I think it is. I've already got 4 of them down, and that is Cobra Kai, The Good Place, The Mandalorian, and The Last Dance. It was all duplicates.
Mm-hmm.
And
wait, which ones again?
Cobra Kai.
Okay.
Good Place.
Okay.
That was duplicate, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Mandalorian, everybody had, and The Last Dance.
It was a good one too.
Several of you all had Star Trek shows. You could put the new Star Trek.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Let's put Star Trek.
I would petition too of dropping The Good Place and putting Tiger King.
It was on a couple of lists.
That's a good point. There
more 2020,
really. Yeah. And it is 2020. It encompasses 2020. And we got the slogan "Cool Cats and Kittens," and that's just great. So
kittens.
Let's everybody agree.
Agree.
All right, so that's what we're
going to do. Have it.
Yep. So our list is Cobra Kai, Tiger King, Mandalorian, The Last Dance, and Star Trek.
Nice.
I don't think you can argue with that.
That's a good list. That's a very good list.
Really solid.
We're really glad that you were able to tune into this episode's Top 5, but we really hope that you check out our full episode where we have a lively and fruitful discussion. Thanks, everyone.